my channel. My name is Naomi Roque. If you're brand new to my channel, consider subscribing. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure to ring the notification bell so you can be notified anytime I do upload a video. Today, I wanted to do a winter foundation routine, something for the dry skin girls. I have extremely dry skin. I live in Montana. It is very cold here. The air is really dry, so it really dries out my skin. So there are definitely products that I have to add into my routine, or steps in my routine that I have to change up so that my makeup feels good all day long. If I'm going outside, my makeup can definitely get even drier as the day goes along. So sometimes I add a little extra hydration so that as the day goes on, it keeps my skin feeling balanced and luminous. I love luminous looking makeup. So this might not be everyone's cup of tea because it is a really high on the luminous aspect, but you can definitely powder it down a little bit more. You can do more of my powder steps that I'll show you in this video. I really love how this turned out. I think it is absolutely beautiful. So if you'd like to see how I got this foundation routine, then just keep watching. I did not do the eyeshadow. I did just kind of hop in with my skin, but if you would like to see how I got the eyeshadow look, it will be on my Instagram. So go ahead and keep watching and let's get her done. So I did already do my prep. Prep during the winter for me is super important because I do have really dry skin, and as it gets colder my skin gets drier and makeup never looks good over a really dry base. So how I start every single makeup routine is with a beauty oil, especially during the winter because I have dry skin. The one I like is the Ordinary 100% cold pressed virgin marula oil. If you have oily skin, I definitely wouldn't suggest putting in an oil, but if you have dry skin, this is like a skin saver. I absolutely love using that during the winter. What I do is in the morning I'll kind of wash my face with a little bit of cold water, apply a few lotions, and then I'll put the oil on top of it, and then I'll wait half an hour, 45 minutes to an hour before I apply my makeup, just so that oil has time to really settle into my skin. So then next I go in with a primer. My absolute favorite primer during the winter when I am needing a little extra hydration is the Touch in Sol. This is the Pretty Filter Glassy Skin Balm. This is my favorite primer in my entire collection. So it comes in a little pot. It is super hydrating and very thick. It is a balmy type consistency. I will go ahead and show it to you right there. So when you apply this into your skin, it is super hydrating. It feels really great. It also leaves a luminosity to your skin, but there is no glitter, there is no shimmer in it. It is just pure hydration. It looks great under every single foundation. But I like to apply that and just let it really soak into my skin before I go in with foundation. Another one of my holy grail products, this I have loved for a very long time. I love this summer or winter. It works for me year round. So this is the Purlisse Perfect Glow BB Cream with SPF. I have this in the color Light. I absolutely love using a BB cream like this during the winter. If I'm wanting full glam, I will definitely go for other full glam foundations. But from day to day, when I'm just running out, doing errands, I love this. This is so beautiful. It has light coverage, but it does cover every discoloration I have. It is super glowy and hydrating. It looks really great when I have super dry skin. And it doesn't have a ton of coverage, but it really just perfects your skin. Look how pretty that is. There's what it looks like on my skin. It's not full coverage, it's a light coverage. You can still kind of see my little bit of freckles underneath, but I really do like that, especially for a day-to-day during the winter. It looks so glowy and so beautiful. I do like to add a little extra glow to my face, and then I kind of tone it down with powder. So this looks extremely glowy, but I like that because then I will just add a little bit of powder on top and it'll kind of tone it down, but it still looks super hydrated and healthy. Most of the products in this video are my holy grail. They were in my yearly favorites. These are products that I have discovered that I just absolutely love. Next, I'm going to go in with the Revolution. This is the Eye Bright Illuminating Under Eye Concealer in Light. It comes with a little sponge. I really love this concealer if I'm not needing full coverage. If I'm needing something light, but that is also very hydrating, I go for this concealer every time. It's such a beautiful hydrating concealer. I really enjoy the formula. I do apply it and then I let it sit for even a couple minutes. Let it dry down a little bit. It gets a little bit more coverage and I find it blends out really beautifully, even if it's sat down for just a few minutes and then I blend it out. I'm going to go ahead and apply a lip plumper. The Milk Makeup. This is the Electric Glossy Lip Plumper. I have loved this since I bought it. It's the most plumping, tingly lip balm I have. But I like it because it's really hydrating. So like this is a great lip prep product. I like to apply it right as I'm starting my makeup routine. And then by the time I'm doing my lip product, my lips are just so hydrated and plumped, and everything goes on top really nice, especially during the winter. My lips can get dried and chapped, so I love having a balm like that that's hydrating, but also kind of plumps up your lips and makes them feel a little bit more voluptuous. I'm going to take my sponge and very gently blend this in. And you can see it doesn't have full coverage, but it is super hydrating, has a nice light coverage feel, which works perfectly with that BB cream. See, that is like the perfect amount for day to day when I don't have a full coverage foundation on. Really, really do love that concealer. Alright, whether it is summer or winter, I love cream products so much. And my favorite cream bronzer is the E.L.F. Cream Contour Palette. I love this so much. I've gotten so much wear out of it. It is a mess because I use it all the time. It's just so blendable. It has really great pigment in the lightest and the medium color. And I take this big fluffy dual fiber brush. I just fluff that onto my skin. I'm not being super specific with my placement because I am just kind of bronzing up in a larger space just to add that warmth back into my skin. I definitely lose my tan during the winter, so I want to add some bronze back in, so I am just kind of fluffing this all over the face. That it has a dark, medium, and light color so that I can use it any time of the year. I use the dark during the summer, I use the light and medium during the winter. I can contour my nose with the really light color. So there is that bronze, still really glowy, but adds the warmth back. One of my favorite cream bronzers is the Tower 28. This is the Beach Please in Magic Hour. This is such a great everyday wearable, really kind of neutral pink. I use a little dual fiber brush and I just apply that. I start in the back and then kind of just bring it forward. This blush is a balm-like texture, so it's really kind of creamy. And it works so well on top of anything you apply. It kind of just blends and melts into all the other products. I love these type of products that are super glowy and creamy, especially during the winter, because they all just mesh well together and blend in. It looks extremely seamless, but super hydrating and healthy. This is my favorite type of makeup during the winter. And if it's looking like it could be a little too kind of luminous and glowy, I will definitely tone it down just a little bit. I like to add all the glow that I want and then pinpoint where I need a little bit of powder. Next, my favorite highlighter on the cusp from Colourpop. I love these highlighters. They're my favorite. Take my finger, just tap it right onto the top of my cheekbones. Blend it out. One of the most blendable highlighters I own. I love how easy it is to use. I can just use my finger. You can also use a brush. You can just treat it as if it's a powder to mesh it into the skin with the warmth of my fingers. It's just super beautiful. A little bit on my nose, a little bit on my Cupid's bow. So that is all I'm going to use for cream. I'm going to hop into powder. So I am going to go ahead and use my Kossas. This is a cloud set. This is one of the best powders, especially for the winter. The reasons I really love this powder is that it is a beautiful skin-like finish. It does not mattify. You can still see some of the glow underneath, but it just sets it so gently where it looks very natural. You can't go overboard with this powder. It never looks heavy or cakey, and it's just really gorgeous. So I love using it just to pinpoint a little bit of powder and just kind of mattify where I might have a little bit too much, so you can see the glow on my cheeks, and then there's not as much glow under my eyes. I take down a little bit in the middle of my forehead, but I still look super hydrated and really glowy. The next step I love doing, I take the Jaclyn Cosmetics Brightening Palette and then my little sponge, and then I go into the two lightest colors. For me, I just gently tap into this palette and I take it right under my eyes and just tap it right on. You can see this side versus this side. It really just brightens it up. I also love this powder because it is not too heavy. It's hard for me with dry skin to find a powder that's not super heavy on my skin, that doesn't look really cakey, that just kind of meshes and blends into my skin, and this one absolutely does. It's one of my favorite discoveries of 2021. I think it's a beautiful palette. I really like it because I can use the other darker colors during the summer and the two lightest during the winter. It is quite expensive, but it is so worth it. I don't think I've done a makeup look without this palette since I bought it. So there's that with all the different powders. I'm not going to apply any powder around my face, but if I were going to, I would go in with my NYX High Glass finishing powder. A very glowy finishing powder that if used too much can look like a highlighter, but it does really perfect the skin. I love using that on my nose if I don't want to use any other highlighters on my nose. I could leave it here with just the creams and a little bit of powder, but I do sometimes like to add just a little bit of powder, bronzer, and blush on top. Two bronzers that I really love from the drugstore. This one is the Catrice Sungasam Illuminizing Bronzer. This is a really great neutral, very light in tone. The other one is the Wet n Wild Sunset Strip Tease. This is also a really great neutral, kind of teetering a little bit more yellow, but I really love the undertone of this. They both have a beautiful amount of luminosity if I'm wanting to add a little more glow. They have really light in tone, very neutral, so they're not super warm or overbearing. So I'm going to go in with the Catrice one. I'm going to tap my brush into it and apply the smallest amount right over where I use the E.L.F. bronzer palette. And then if I'm wanting to add a little bit more glow onto my cheeks, a little bit more blush, I really, really love the Nabla Skin Glazes. I love their bronzer and their blush. This is an independent. This is kind of a sheer color. It's a beautiful neutral pink. I really love this. What I like to do with this powder is use it as a blush topper. I will apply all the blush I want on my cheeks, and then I'll take this and I'll apply it right between the blush and the highlighter to really mesh those two together. It adds a really small amount of color, but a really beautiful amount of glow. I'll take a tiny bit on my nose because it is a bit more of a sheer product. Here's my finished base look. I love how this turned out. It makes me feel just super, super hydrated and glowy and pretty and reflective and shiny. All the best things. So I'm going to do my lips as well because there has been a few lip products that I've been loving recently. I'm going to wipe off the Milk Plumper. But like I said, now my lips are feeling super, super hydrated. So I'm going to hop in with my Colourpop Ashton lip liner. I love this lip liner, especially for the winter. It is a great contour color for my pale skin. And because my lips can get really dry during the winter, I have been getting into lip oils. I have never really gone into lip oils before this year. So this is the Merit lip oil, and this is taupe. I really love this very neutral brown. It has a lot of pigment for being a lip oil. With a lot of lip oils, they don't have a ton of pigment, but this one does. It is super hydrating. It looks really great with the lip liners that I prefer. I love that it's a neutral brown instead of a warm brown. So there is the lip with the foundation. I really love how this looks. This is my ideal wearable daily type makeup look. It looks super beautiful, glowy. It makes my skin feel really comfortable and hydrating, and I really love how it turned out. I hope you did as well. Let me know what your favorite go-to products for the winter are, the things that you've been absolutely loving, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye, guys.